Whenever I try to watch a Studio Ghibli movie, I feel like I'm listening to Joe Biden try to give a speech. Like, the harder I try to understand what's going on, the more confused I end up being.
And to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn that turn blonde in the sun.
As I'm sure you're aware if you're watching this video, Studio Ghibli is one of the biggest names in anime movies to date. They produced huge hits like the whimsical Spirited Away, the kind of surreal Princess Mononoke, that movie where the raccoons' balls swell up and they fly on them. Like that's a thing. These raccoons, their balls blow up and they fly away. That's the kind of shit that goes on in these movies, right? Quite recently though, Studio Ghibli announced their latest classic, probably the last one ever done by Hayao Miyazaki, called The Boy and the Heron. And I'm not the biggest fan of Studio Ghibli, as you will soon find out if you continue watching this video. But you know me, the trendsetter, the absolute free thinker that I am, I have to go check it out like all the other people going to watch anime movies these days, right? Little did I know I would be sorely disappointed and would probably have the lamest 2 hours of my life. I went into The Boy and the Heron really hoping to come out with something spectacular. I was hoping that this movie would showcase all the things Hayao Miyazaki's good at and really put a cap on his career as his astounding masterpiece, right? Instead, what we get is an absolute chaotic train wreck of a film that can't hold itself together worth a shit. And I'm reminded exactly why I call all of his movies overrated. It's because he cannot write a coherent plot to save his life. And I cannot emphasize how critical this is. His movies are 10 out of 10 in every single aspect except the story writing, where they fail miserably. Like his stories are maybe 1, 2 out of 10. I'm talking Demon Slayer level, just put you to sleep, boring, chaotic, all over the map. And this movie is probably his worst plot to date. And you know, you could fault me saying, well, dude, why'd you go see a Studio Ghibli movie for the plot? And admittedly, that's where I'm an idiot, right? Maybe I shouldn't have gone in hoping for something incredible from a studio that I previously called mid as fuck. But I was hoping that he could get his shit together, make a good movie for once. I mean, okay, his other movies are good, but make a true masterpiece for once. And instead, The Boy and the Heron falls flat on its face. The movie has a lot of strong points, but the plot is so incoherent, you can't make sense of any of it. Like the movie starts off, I quite like the beginning. It's set in World War II Japan, and they do so much to build up this period drama feel where they make the main character, his name is Mahito, he's living in Tokyo, and then he gets shipped off to the countryside to protect him from the presumably ramping up war, right? You feel the tension, you feel this, society at war. He then, after the first 30 minutes, Mahito gets shipped off to this fantasy world, and you can basically forget about the World War II buildup. Like, there's no relevance to it, it never comes back. It was just kind of a nice thing that happened, I guess, but then it just goes away, and you're left like, okay, that was weird, hopefully it comes back. It never does, right? So now he's in this Ghibli-esque fantasy world where he's tasked with catching a penis fish and feeding it to these spirits and helping this random girl out with random tasks that you don't really understand like what they are. That's like the next 30 minutes. Then the 30 minutes after that, he goes on this rescue mission with the Heron, the dude in the title. The Heron is really irrelevant and erratic, by the way. Like, he doesn't have a defining character. Like, he's evil and then he's not. He's evil and then it's not. But so the Heron, he takes him to go rescue his stepmother, which the whole plot of the story is Mahito has to go rescue his stepmother who wandered through this portal. And by the way, that's never explained. Like, she wanders through this portal, and it's like, why? Like, that's the whole plot of the movie. She never comes back. She never, like speaks after the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie. It's just mind-boggling. But anyway, so he's going to go rescue her. They pull off a failed heist where they run into parakeet Nazis, literal bird Nazis, right? Then Mahito, for the final 30-minute act, he gets summoned to heaven by God. Yes, I'm not making this up. Literal bird Hitler, you heard me right, shows up. Like, he hasn't been introduced in any of the previous 90 minutes. He literally shows up for the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie. Bird Hitler shows up. He takes away these blocks from God. The whole universe of this fantasy world just blows up. Mahito, he barely escapes with his life from this world. And then the Heron wipes his memory, making everything that happened throughout the whole movie pointless. The whole movie is pointless from start to finish. And maybe I'm missing something. I probably am. I'm not that smart. But by no way do I look at this and think this is good in any aspect. And, Studio Ghibli, they're known for their visuals. They're known for, having really awesome static animation where, every blade of grass just moves perfectly with the wind. Every blade of hair just gets, perfectly tussled with the wind. Really beautiful animation. I don't care. I don't care how good it looks. If you don't have a good story, good somebody I can root for, I'm not going to get invested in it. And I walk out of the movie theater like, what the fuck? Why did I just waste 2 hours of my life watching this? And like I said earlier, I don't know why I went into a Hayao Miyazaki movie expecting anything else. This was probably his worst movie from a plot standpoint. I don't know. For doing research making this movie, I saw that it had a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, which makes me a hater because, everybody else is absolutely loving this movie. I'm standing over here, I'm like, I hate it, I don't understand it. It's a bad movie, right? But am I wrong? Am I wrong that this movie has no plot and is therefore an incomprehensible train wreck? I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you watched to this point, I'm sorry if I crapped all over your favorite director because, yeah, I don't get it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And yeah, please consider giving me a like and a subscribe if you like what I have to say, or maybe you just think I look cute. Whatever the case may be, give me some love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.